Hey metalheads, you like tattoos? Of course you do. If you're in the Louisville, Kentucky area, come on over the bridge to Clarksville, Indiana, and get you some ink done at Ageless Art. If ink isn't your thing, they have a piercing studio as well. Visit agelessartclarksville.com to see some frequently asked questions, meet the staff. The shop is open Monday through Thursday, 12 to 8 p.m., Saturdays, 12 to 10 p.m., and Sundays, 12 to 6 p.m., all appointment-only spots. You can set up your appointments by phone at 812-283-1793 or email agelessarttattooandpiercing@gmail.com and someone will get you set up for your first or your next tattoo or piercing.
Hey, it's Jeff McNichol down here at Mom's Music, 1900 Melwood Avenue. I was just thinking, when I was a kid, the magic was at Frankfort Avenue, the Mom's Music at Frankfort Avenue, and I used to beg people to get a ride down there just to hang out with the guys and see all the cool gear. Now that I'm the owner of this store, it's like a dream come true. We're recreating the magic with the vibe that we used to have at the old store. We're carrying all the gear that you're going to possibly want. We're giving you the outstanding service and personal attention that you deserve. Yeah, so we've got the great guitar shop here. We're carrying USA Fender, USA Gibson, Paul Reed Smith, Gretsch, Jackson, Charvel, anything you could possibly want, we're going to have it for you. Mom's is and always will be Louisville's music store.
Thank you for tuning into the Metal Forge. I am Mark Jackson and I'm your host. The premise of the show is pretty simple. Awesome interviews and awesome music. If you want to contact me, hit me up at metalforgeradio@gmail.com or visit the website metalforgeradio.com. And now let's get this show on the road. What is going on, metalheads? Thank you all for tuning in to this week's episode of the Metal Forge. How are you all doing? I am doing fairly well. This week I have Avery from CHAMBER MAGE here in the Metal Forge, and we are talking about awesome new wave of traditional heavy metal meets power metal meets fantasy metal, whatever you want to call it. It's what it is, and it is pretty damn awesome. So, yeah, take a breather, have some dip, right? Yeah, for sure. Definitely. So, Jason is back this week on the Heavy Metal Wasteland, and we are talking about some cool vinyl collecting things here. Super awesome. I do another podcast with Jason called The Mudhorn, and it is basically a fandom series where we talk about, say, for example, the Mudhorn meaning like from Star Wars, where we've talked about the Obi-Wan series on there. We've talked about the movie Prey, which is the new Predator film that has come out. And we're doing one for the Andor series. Pretty much any kind of fandom that we're all somewhat fans of. Shade Beast, Joe Eldridge has been a part of it. Micah has been a part of it as well. Jason obviously is the guy heading up all of that. I'm just here to be a talking head on that one, and it's pretty cool because I get to talk about some awesome fandom stuff like Predator and Aliens and Star Wars and Star Trek and all that cool stuff. So cruise on over to that. It's on YouTube as well as wherever you get your podcasts from, and check out Jason's podcast, The Ale Horn, as well. He does some pretty cool band interview stuff that's not really set to a specific like set of questions or anything. It's different for every episode. So, and I was on that a few months back as well. But anyways, yeah, what's going on? I mean, summer's coming to a close. We've got the fall festivals coming up, like especially in the Louisville, Kentucky area. We got Louder Than Life. We got Bourbon and Beyond. We got some awesome shows coming up here in Louisville, as well as some around us. Judas Priest is coming around a couple of times. They're still doing the 50 Years of Metal tour, which is super rad because I'm going to try and go out and see that with my friend Zach and Fingernails, along with some other cool stuff like Venom Inc. is coming to Black Circle Brewing in November. I've definitely got to see that because, Demolition Man has been on the Metal Forge before. We're going to try and get him back as well. Hopefully we can get him back for the 200th episode, at least to say something, But hell, it's been awesome. I really want to let the cat out of the bag. I want to tell you guys about some cool stuff that is happening both with the Metal Forge and with Overload, but I can't right now. But just know that there are awesome things on the horizon, and hey, who knows? It may be super awesome. I hope it's going to be, for sure, because I'm really looking forward to, delivering the best podcast that I can and getting as many listeners and awesome new content and new people joining the fold and everything. And I just love hearing from you guys. So thank you all. Keep sending the messages that you're sending. I'm really digging it. It's super fun. I'm having such a blast doing this show. And here we are, 187 episodes this week. Things just keep looking up. September has some awesome guests coming up, and then obviously we're all leading up to episode number 200 in November. And I am excited for that. So let's go ahead and check in with Jason here from the Heavy Metal Wasteland. Let's hear about vinyl collecting.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the Wasteland. Today I want to change it up a little bit and talk a little vinyl record collecting. So recently I had an offer come through Spotify on the app on my phone to buy a limited edition gold colored CCR Live at the Royal Albert Hall vinyl. After shipping, it was $37. I went ahead and bought it because I was curious on what kind of product a company who is pretty much known for subpar streams would put out. Is it just some stamped out hunk of junk, or is it like nice 180 gram with cool liner notes and inserts to look at, or a nice insert to look at, or what comes from Spotify in the physical realm? So that got me thinking, why would Spotify even sell vinyl? Is it a cash grab? Did someone there think that this could be a good endeavor for Spotify to get into to help bolster their stake in the music resale industry? I don't know. I will find out when I get it in September. Hopefully it's not crap, but I will let you guys know. So another one that kind of perplexes me is Walmart. I would never buy a record from Walmart. I don't think anyone who collects vinyl would ever buy a record from Walmart because the people at Walmart do not know how to look through vinyl properly and carefully. I've seen it over and over. They grab the vinyl, they bend the top to see what's behind it, and then they just push it back like it's nothing they want and go about their business. They're very abused at Walmart. So I don't know who this is geared to that they sell them, but I do know that the Metallica variants that they keep putting out annoy me to no end because, Metallica used to be blue collar mentality. Fuck the man, fuck corporate, fuck MTV, no videos until Injustice, etc. But now they kind of just think it's cool that they have their records at Walmart when, what would be even cooler is the guy who could use some excitement for Metallica reissues on color variants, have people coming in and maybe buying more from his store that they never heard of before, or, something that they know very well and just want it on vinyl. I don't really see why they're just teaming up with Walmart. Neither entity really needs the money that bad, so using up resources on a limited substance like the vinyl pellets is just kind of maddening. Fleetwood Mac putting out Rumors again for like the 40th time. Garth Brooks' Greatest Hits Volume 2 on vinyl or some shit. It's just, I don't know. It just seems like a cool medium that's kind of underground is bubbling to the mainstream, and now everyone's jumping in on it to where it'll just be lame. There'll be no posters inside, no cool liner notes. It'll just be a cardboard sleeve and a record, and that's all you get, because they're not gonna put too much money into something like the independent guys do, like Ripple, or even like Metal Blade has cool packaging. Some other ones out there too. Century Media, pretty cool stuff. So one more gripe I had before I go is the people putting out vinyl records, like pop bands. When you record digital music onto digital, why even have a record? It makes no sense. You're just playing digital sounds. I know there's naysayers out there, CD aficionados or whatnot, that are just like, well, you buy a record and you're just buying an expensive digital copy anyway because it's recorded on Pro Tools. But what I reply back to that is, when you record a guitar or drums, it is very analog signals recorded to a computer versus computer sounds just pressed to vinyl. So when the needle goes over the groove, you're actually still getting the sound that was coming out of the amp versus some shit on an EDM album, which I can't even believe they press on vinyl for whatever reason. That's what I got to say about that. I am glad it's coming back, though. It feels like people want music to be more important than it's treated. Obviously, a stream song really doesn't live on in your memory, but when you have to take care of your music, when you have to clean your vinyl, when you have to change your needle on your record player, when you have to set the needle, when you have to flip it, when you have to change the speed from 45 to 33, etc. It's more of a respect thing for the artist, even though you're not really talking to them. You're kind of taking care of their baby, in a way, to me. And I actually like that. I don't mind getting up after 4 songs and flipping sides. I get the next one ready, and then when I go, when side B is done, I'll either put in side C or just put in a new vinyl. It's a very interactive experience that I think goes farther in appreciating what you have versus just listening to something on Spotify and giving it a thumbs up. So that's my opinion on it. Of course, it's just my opinion. Might share a different opinion, and that's fine. Everyone should have different opinions. That's what makes the world go around. But anyway, that's all I got for today. As always, I want to remind you guys to stay safe, stay hydrated, be kind to each other during this extreme heat, and stay heavy, guys, and we will talk to you next time.
Dude, Jason, thank you so much for doing this at the frequency you do it. You really banged them out this month. Hell yeah, I appreciate that. Makes my job just a little bit easier. And of course, Athena with Metal Mischief, where she's been in studio the last couple of weeks for her album reviews and band reviews, really. So hell yeah, onward and upward. Let's keep kicking ass and taking names, and or chewing bubblegum, as Roddy Piper would have said in They Live. So hell yeah. Let's go ahead and get into this episode with Chamber Mage. This is The Length of the Chain. All right, metalheads, I'm being joined here on the line from Avery from the band Chamber Mage. Dude, what is going on?
Hey, what's up, man? Not much. Just hanging out over here. Appreciate you having me on the show.
Dude, of course. No. Thank you for coming on the show. This is awesome because I dig multiple kinds of metal. Okay, whether it's death, thrash, doom, punk, influenced metal, hardcore, metalcore, even like power and power fantasy, I guess you could call it.
Yeah, I'd say that definitely would apply. I consider us more so just a traditional heavy metal band, but definitely heavy on the fantasy side of things.
For sure. So, before we get into all that, dude, how's your week been?
It's been pretty long, man. Work kind of kicked my ass this week. But,
as does all of us.
Yeah. But, yeah, just closing out the weekend on a good, relaxing note. So
hell yeah. And, you're out in Colorado, so
yeah. How
is it out there this time of year, weather-wise?
Right now, actually, August is nice because you still get those really hot days, but we're in kind of the Colorado's monsoon type season, so we get a lot of nice rainy overcast too.
Hell yeah.
That's been combating the heat a little bit.
Yeah, I'm about a mile north of Louisville, Kentucky, inside Indiana, and this week we've started to get a few like overcast days. And
nice.
Oh man, it is so nice because it's so damn humid here through the summer, and this has been a dream. Like you could have the windows rolled down and just be like cruising along, and it'd just be so cool. I really dig that about here.
Nothing beats that feeling.
No, not at all.
I'm from the Pacific Northwest too, so the overcast hits home.
Definitely, yeah. That seems to be the thing up there. It's pretty much always all overcast, isn't it?
I haven't spent too much time up there since I was little, but I do remember it being overcast quite a bit.
See, that would be so peaceful for me. Like maybe I should. I've always talked about moving to California, and maybe about moving to somewhere like maybe Oregon or Washington State would probably be more like it because that just sounds so damn peaceful.
Yeah, you could always go to Northern California though and get that middle ground too.
That's very true. Yeah, and I've always wanted to go to Northern California, like see redwood forest and stuff like that. So hell yeah, see. Voice of reason right there. So tell everybody in the Metal Forge about Chamber Mage.
Okay. Chamber Mage is a project that I started sort of writing some songs in my bedroom. And I didn't really have a computer, so I just wrote these sketched out demo tracks on GarageBand and recorded all the tracks with my with the mic for my Apple headphones. And I put that together with the intent of using it to find band members to be in my project. And then I made a post on a Colorado Springs musician group saying that I was putting together a traditional heavy metal-ish, power metal-ish project. And I was looking for I was going to do vocals, and I was looking for everyone else. And the first person that hit me up was actually Ted Jedlicki, who plays bass for Thor. Okay. And he liked the stuff. And then our guitar player, Devin, hit me up, who's in a band called Crotalis down here in Colorado Springs. And then a coworker's sister's brother was a guitar player that I'd heard about through the grapevine. And so I got together with him, and it was a good fit, and we started jamming and went through one drummer that we weren't really on the same path with creatively, and then Ted knew of another guy in Denver, and we hit him up, and things have been going good ever since. We've been jamming together for a little over a year now.
Hell yeah. You mentioned a second ago it was a coworker of a sister of a... It almost reminded me of that line in Spaceballs where he's like, I'm your brother's sister's cousin's ex-roommate.
Yes, it was exactly like that.
So what does that mean? Absolutely nothing.
No.
That's cool, though. that you have a music board, and I'm sure that everybody out there has done like the Craigslist thing in the past, where you musicians looking for musicians, or you get the bulletin board at your local music store, or Guitar Center's bulletin board, or whatever. I don't know if Colorado Springs has a Guitar Center.
We do have a Guitar Center, and then some of like the local record stores have like there's a great record store owned down here by Sean and Brian Ostro called What's Left Records, and that shares a building with a lot of practice spaces that bands use, and they have like a bulletin board type deal in there for people looking for a drummer or this and that.
Hell yeah. That sounds rad already, because here in Louisville, we've got a few places where the musicians have kind of especially the independent musicians, not necessarily like the cover bands or anybody like that.
Right.
But like the original bands have kind of overrun a few places in town. If there's anybody who's anybody, they're either at this place or that place.
Yeah, like the hub, they're going to be there.
Yep. See, that's totally cool to me, because that builds that scene unity. Is because it's like, oh, hey, Josh and them are like 3 doors away from us, and it's like it's a great community setting.
Oh, no, definitely. I'm fairly new to Colorado Springs by a few years, but our guitar player Devin, who's in Cretalis, he's pretty tight knit with a lot of the local scene, and that's that's been cool. Just getting a lot of crossover support. We love doing shows with like, they'll have like us and then like a grindcore band and then like a doom band or something like that, and just get like a lot of cool variety shows in there. I don't know of any other bands in Colorado that are playing stuff like us, except for one, like a power metal band called Siege Perilous that just started in Greeley, Colorado, which on October 30th, we're actually playing a show at the Roxy with them, Celestial Wizard, and Star Wraith. During the day, it's going to be a D&D and tabletop game convention, which is going to bleed into a metal show that night.
Hell yeah!
So that'll be pretty. That'll be pretty cool.
Definitely. And before we go any further, I do want to give a shout out to Dale Wasson, who the designer of the Metal Forge logo lives in Colorado Springs as well.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So it's a small world, Oh, but
that's awesome.
He's a transplant. He moved from Indiana to there. So.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, big shout out to him as well. But no, that's badass, man. Like, I was just last week on the episode, Athena from Metal Mischief, she does album reviews here, and we were talking about how all these bands are starting to package other things with their product, with their CDs and stuff. Mm. And whether it's zines and like this band Electrocutioner, they packaged a D20 module with their game, or with their CD. Sorry. And like, it's so cool because like so many more bands are doing that now. Yeah, we've had some ideas for things like that. There's definitely a lot of room to be creative in that category, but you also kind of have to tread lightly with not like just trying to do the Iron Maiden and just put your logo on anything that there is. Really, you would run with Iron Maiden on that? Really?
Maybe not Maiden as much, just because I love Iron Maiden. They're like my favorite band, and usually when they put their logo on something, I'll probably buy it, but. I feel like certain bands are just,
definitely Kiss would.
Yeah, that's a much better example.
Kiss would, they would make Kiss diapers to Kiss coffins, so they got you when you're coming out and going back,
Yes.
And
exactly.
Everything in between.
Yeah, I feel like there's a line you can tread between getting, creative, cool merch ideas and going that far with it.
Right. Yeah.
But the D20 thing, that's super cool. We had talked about doing Chamber Mage thimbles for when you're sewing your patches.
Dude, that's awesome. If you could get like something, somebody to print on there, like like how people do the enamel pins, that would kick ass.
That'd be really cool, yeah.
That's a $1 million idea.
That was our guitar player Devin's idea.
Seeing now you've let it out.
Yeah. And then I had messed around with the idea of doing like from the 90s and around that time the viewfinders, like they put the little wheel slides in. I'd wanted to make slides of those that would, one for each song, and it would have the lyrics and then concept art specific to that section that you could flip through and look at while you're listening to the track. I thought that would be kind of cool.
Wow. See, that would be cool. You know, there's so many things out there, and what's really cool about the market today is that anything retro is coming back. You could almost get away with literally anything.
Oh,
you know,
absolutely.
even if you took the same concept of what you were talking about to a live show where, you know, back in the 70s, you could see some video of this where it's like this weird ass, like, psychedelic, like, backdrop that's constantly moving. It looks like a lava lamp. Well, the concept behind that, it's water and vegetable oil on an overhead projector.
Right.
And, you know, you could do that same thing, or, you know, you could do it with like a slide projector or something like that.
Yeah.
And just be like clicking through all these weird images and whatnot. And it would be so awesome and so cost effective to do at this point, because how many thrift stores do you ever go into where they've got, like, I don't know, like a suitcase full of like people's old vacation slides and stuff?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, 100%.
And you can modify those things like crazy.
Yeah, true. Or you could not modify them and just hope that whoever donated them showed up to one of your shows one day by mistake.
Wouldn't that be interesting? Like, you're playing Aunt Geraldine's her freaking
party.
Yeah, her 50th birthday party from 1974. That would be hilarious.
Yeah.
And it's like, hey, that's my Aunt Geraldine. What? Come on, man. Hey, let me tell you guys about Mercenary Press. They're an independent London label and distributor of all things metal. Mercenary Press delivers the goods from their own independent zine. Trust me, you're going to want to get in on that. To distributing various bands from all over the world, including Cramp from Spain and Sadistic Force from Texas. Visit mercenarypress.bigcartel.com to find out what all they have in stock and what you can order. And for Metal Forge listeners, enter code MetalForge to receive a discount on your total purchase at mercenarypress.bigcartel.com. Check it out now. Since 2013, there has been a calling from the underground, from the graves of all those unholy, and they decided to make a zine to talk about all of this. Soulgrinder Zine, an independent metal zine to keep you informed on all things metal and horror from the underground. Available in both print and digital formats, they're bringing you the best interviews and reviews out there today. Not only do they do the zine, but they also do compilation CDs. Check them out at facebook.com/soulgrinder.zine and start your subscription now. What is next for you guys?
Let's see. We're working on, a friend of ours is working on putting the album on cassette, or the demo on cassette right now. We did a limited cassette run for the single we put out, Length of the Chain. We did with some cool concept art for that a buddy of mine painted. And unfortunately, the original painting got destroyed in a car accident, but I have it, and I need to sew the canvas back together.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah, we're getting the demo put on tape, and then we have a couple fests that are potentially going to be... we potentially have a few fests in the works that are going to be really cool for us. A couple of us are attending the Hell's Heroes Festival again this year, and we're doing a little 6-show tour from Colorado out to there.
Oh, hell yeah.
So we have in the works.
Definitely. That's always... So, are you actually... I know you probably can't announce it, but are you actually playing?
No, we are not playing Hell's Heroes. We're attending, though.
That's cool, though.
And then right now we're just working on finishing up our full length so we can get the ball rolling with that. And yeah.
Definitely. You said that the original painting of the demo was destroyed in a car accident that you needed to sew back together. And that was like, that hit me like that would be an awesome, like, remixed edition version that you could use as secondary artwork for it.
Yeah, that would be really cool. We have that artwork. It's just the artwork for the single length of the
okay.
game. Yeah, the actual demo artwork I don't have a physical copy of. But yeah, that would be really cool to get a neat photo of the canvas like restitched back together. I think
that would be awesome. You do it like a battle jacket type thing, where some of the people out there, they like to use embroidery floss, right? Where it's like super thick
with crust punk vests and things like that.
Oh yeah, it'd be like super thick stitches, like Frankenstein's monster's hands.
Oh, that's exactly. Thinking, yeah.
Hell yeah.
No, I wouldn't try and make it look neat by any means. It has to look worn and repaired.
Oh, for sure. See, and that's where the thing it comes all about. It's like full circle at that point where you could totally do some awesome stuff with just whatever, and it makes it a completely new art piece.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hell yeah. You'd mentioned possible festivals, and I noticed this year you guys had a song on the Mad with Power Fest sampler CD.
Yes, Mad with Power Fest, it would not be one of those potential festivals, but that was just kind of cool. Ted, our bass player, he's buddies with the guys who put on Mad with Power, and I think actually the compilation was just open to submission.
Nice.
So it has us. We submitted Blades on the Rampart, and it has us and a lot of the bands that playing the fest, and then a bunch of other really great bands that aren't playing this year. So it's just an all-around really great traditional metal compilation.
Well, what's super cool to me on this is I was actually on their Facebook page, and I am not a big fan of just like 2, 3, 4 day festival things, but these guys seem to do it like really awesome, because on Friday they started at 4:30, which for me in this late in the year, maybe if it were summertime it'd be a little bit, but it's still summer, but
yeah, like
June, July starting at 4:30, I guess it's like more, socially acceptable to start a show earlier, because most people are taking off work in June and July kind of things.
Yeah.
But, late August or earlier than that, like May and stuff, is kind of weird to me. But they started at 4:30, and they had 3 bands play, and then they broke for an hour and had like a social gathering, like a dinner service and a gaming break and stuff, which is totally cool.
Yeah. No, that's really cool.
And then he did the same thing on Saturday also.
Yeah, that's really cool, especially because, like, for me personally, the worst part of festivals is trying to catch everyone you see all day, so you're so tired by the time the headliners come on. You know what I mean? Like, it's just cool that they're incorporating that break where you just have time to chill, before you have to race to catch the next band.
Definitely, and there were some bangers on this year's festival. Of course, Aether Realm, Traveler. Traveler's been on the Metal Forge before.
Yep.
Master Sword, just to name a few. And then, of course, that was on the Friday deal. And Saturday was another one that was just as good, because they had Psycho Stick play, which my band Overload has played with Psycho Stick a couple of times back in the day. So,
very cool.
Oh yeah, Lords of the Trident, Throne of Iron from here in Indiana.
Yep, those guys are clear.
Love Tucker, he's a great dude. But yeah, this seemed like such a cool event. That you and both days started at the same time. They ended about the same time, which it wasn't like it wasn't information overload. No pun intended.
Yeah.
Because it seems like it was pretty lax. And it didn't seem like there was like band 1 on this stage at 4 to 4:30 and band 2 at 4:30 to 5. It just
minimal overlap.
Yeah, minimal to no overlap, which is so cool to me.
Mm-hmm.
And see, that's like if I were to throw a festival, and I've really considered doing it, That to me is like the festival like get up that I would really like to try.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. Definitely have a good formula going for that fest.
Definitely. And like I said, you know, the whole worked in like dinner social thing, that's cool as hell to me. That's the first time I've ever seen anybody do that.
Oh, 100%. I haven't noticed any. I haven't seen too many other festivals incorporate just time for the fans to
decompress for one, and for two, you know, to actually not have to necessarily miss a band to get something to eat or drink.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, food is also usually the biggest issue at festivals.
Oh yeah, I mean there was when I went to Louder Than Life last year, the drinks, you know, if you were to have like a mixed drink, like a Jack and Coke or Blackened and Coke or whatever you want to, you know, drink, I think the minimum I saw was $15.
Oh,
and it's for, you know, like a 6-ounce glass, you know, or a plastic cup for that matter, and then all of the food was a minimum $20 setup.
Yeah.
Like, and they had tons of different things. They had like the big giant barbecue turkey legs. They had like, you know, chow mein, like, you know, so many different like food options, but they were all $20 across the board. So, so it's like, you know, that's cool too, because you'd already know what you're getting into.
Right. Hell's Heroes last year in Houston, the food trucks, I never got the chance to try them because that festival was just completely stacked. So I didn't want to miss any bands waiting in line to get food. But
it was definitely
by the time the festival let out, everywhere was closed except for this fry truck that was behind the Raven Tower, which was the bar right next to it. And that fry truck came in clutch because they were open like till like 3 a.m. or something like that. So everyone was going over to that fry truck once the festival let out.
Oh, hell yeah. See, you get the people that do that. You get the ones that they're guaranteed a spot, and then they don't show up for like 3 or 4 hours until it's like almost close to the end. And then where everybody else is shutting down, they're just making bank. And other people might have made it before the show, but you know, you get that one last holdout. It's like either going to Taco Bell or like Waffle House after a show.
Mm-hmm.
Where everybody just, you know, everybody flocks there.
Oh, yeah.
Or in this area, you know, we have White Castle, which I don't think you have any there.
No, but I do miss White Castle. I only get it when I go visit my family in Minnesota, but
oh yeah,
it hits different.
After a long night of drinking, it really hits the spot.
Yep. Waffle House is definitely the after show spot around here, though.
Nice.
What's up, Metal Forge fans? This is Alan Bishop, the alchemist of Indiana's Black Forest and head distiller at Spirits of French Lick. Do you find yourself drawn to the unexplained, fascinated by the Fortean, or enchanted by the paranormal? If the things that go bump in the night resonate in your mind, then tune into my brand new podcast, If You Have Ghosts, You Have Everything. Featuring first-hand accounts, collected stories, interviews, history, and speculation related to all things not of this world. Available now on Anchor, Spotify, Google, Amazon, and more. Set back, relax, and remember, if you have ghosts, you have everything.
Hey metalheads, it's with great pleasure I get to tell you guys about a new sponsor to the Metal Forge, Ageless Art, New Albany. After 20 years of owning and operating Ageless Art in Clarksville, Indiana, Phil Garrett had a vision for a new type of tattoo studio. Something that is clean and modern, sleek, refined, inviting. And he's done just that with Ageless Art in New Albany. You can find it at 2736 Charlestown Road, New Albany, Indiana, 47150. Business hours are Monday through Saturday, 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. Sundays are 12 to 6. All sessions are appointment only, so give them a call and go get you some new ink. Or if it's your first time, go get your first one, baby. So I'm going to go ahead and break away and ask you some general questions. These are about you as a person. They're all random now. You could have anything based on anything in life, movies, music, gaming, just general life questions. Sound
Okay,
good?
cool. Yeah.
Who is the best female role model in your life?
That would be my partner, Mackenzie.
Hell yeah. Did you want to elaborate on any of that? Like why?
Oh, they're just very they're very stick to their guns. They're very doesn't take crap from others, and they're just one of the most genuine people, and they love me for who I am, and I'm just grateful every day that they're in my life.
Hell yeah. See, that kicks ass. That right on. I can totally get behind that.
Yeah.
Who was the best boss you ever had, and what made them the best?
I'm going to have to say a boss that I had in Canyon City when I worked at a pizza place. And they were just extremely supportive of me. I came back from traveling, and they gave me a job as soon as I walked in the door, and they also gave my partner a job, and they hooked us up with a place to live, and just really genuinely a good person, and always slipped me a little cash in tips here and there, and just overall just really cared about her employees.
Definitely. See, that's rad too, because you don't find, especially being a musician, life is hard alone. Life's a lot harder when you're an independent musician and you're trying to make it as that. Whether or not, you have a Joe job or what the hell ever, it can kick you in the nuts or whatever, and it just sucks. But, finding those people that really support you and what you do, there's nothing better than that.
Yeah, definitely.
And, having a boss that would do that for you, I watched a documentary called Get Thrashed one time, and I don't know if you've ever seen it.
I don't think so.
It's really cool, but they talk about, I think Gary Holt is talking about what it's like, coming back off the road after being on the road for like 60 days, and you apply for like a job, and they're like, well, why haven't you worked, for these last 2 months? And it's like, well, I've been on the road. And it's like, well, we're probably going to pass because we know you're going to go back on tour.
Yeah, for sure.
And see, finding people like that's awesome.
Yeah, this was before I was doing any band stuff. This was back when I was in high school, which I still did band stuff, but like not serious band stuff. But she was extremely flexible with, my schedule and anything I had going on. And, just always gave people the best schedule that she could based off of their life situation. And you don't find bosses who actually care about any of that type of thing these days.
Definitely not. And see, I have a boss in my regular job that is totally understanding of that too. He's like, you know what? You're here Monday through Friday. You take care of us when you're here. He's like, let me know if you need anything. I was like, fuck yeah.
That's how my current boss is too.
See, that's rad.
Pretty much willing to work with you in whatever way they can, as long as you give them a little heads up. And yeah,
definitely.
Can't complain, man.
Aside from music, if you could make any one of your hobbies into a profession, what would it be?
Probably either painting or metal detecting. Or I like to collect toys too. So,
dude,
I like to collect Transformers and Masters of the Universe, and I always want to run like a vintage toy shop. I always thought that.
Hell yeah, man! You're speaking my language already. I'm a huge Masters fan.
Oh, nice, man.
Yeah, one of my best friends, Jared, he is a tattoo artist. When he was doing his apprenticeship, and they finally said, all right, dude, you can start tattooing on people.
Yeah.
He let me know, and I was like, you know what? What do you want to do? He's like, I don't know, man. I was like, what about something Masters of the Universe related? And he's like, yeah, I could do that. And I sent him this picture of Orko. So nice. I've got an Orko on my leg that my friend Jared had done, and it's absolutely rad.
That's awesome, man.
And I'm going to go get more.
I have a friend here in the Springs who I've been meaning to get a Castle Grayskull tattoo from for a while.
Dude, that would be awesome. Like, could you imagine like a giant back piece of like the face of Castle Grayskull?
Oof.
It'd be so much.
That would be sick, man.
That would be so cool because like I said, I'm a huge Masters fan, and I can owe it to my my older brother. He was 9 years older than me, or is 9 years older than me. And when I remember being like 3, 4, 5 years old, you know, I kind of inherited all of his Masters figures.
Yeah.
So yeah, that totally kicks ass.
Oh yeah, man.
You know, and I really dig. I'm not sure. I mean, you said you collect. Do you like the new line, like the Origins figures, where they're like the 26-point articulation modern version of the classic figures?
I do, but a lot of that probably stems from me being, I'm 24, so I didn't really have any nostalgic connection to the original line. So I like the look of the original stuff, but the Origins line with the more articulation definitely is a selling point for me, and they're all pretty reasonably priced too.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, you know, dollars to dollars, with the inflation rate, they're pretty much the same cost as they were in 1983.
Yeah.
You know, so when you go to Walmart and they're $14.97, you know, they were still $4.99 in 1983. So with the inflation, they're still the same price. They just obviously it just seems a lot more.
Yeah, no, for sure. And you know, from other collecting hobby being Transformers, it's definitely the cheaper of the two.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, I'm actually a big fan of like the special edition Transformer collection pieces.
Oh yeah, like the Ghostbusters and the.
Well, not just that, but like the ones where they do like die-cast versions of them.
Oh,
where they're metal.
Yeah.
See, stuff like that like really kicks ass. I saw one time a sound wave that was done that way, and it's like the size of an actual Walkman. And I was like, dude,
really?
This is so badass.
I've never seen that. That is so cool.
Yeah, it was at a shop here in Louisville. But like it was so badass, and it was like $180 or something. It's like, man, it's like I never have the money to go in there and get it.
Yeah, I don't know if I would justify dropping 180 on that, but I've definitely justified dropping 180 on things that would seem a lot less.
Right.
Well, you know.
Definitely. Yeah. What are most people afraid of, but not you?
Spiders, maybe.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could see that. You know, a lot of people out there, you know, I used to work in pest control, and yeah, people hate spiders.
Okay. Yeah,
people really hate them.
People really don't like spiders. I know people who can't even go to sleep if they see a spider in their house and they don't know where it went.
Yeah, see, I don't. But, I get that, and I don't get that.
Yeah, I mean, I personally don't get it, but that's the thing with fear is that it's illogical, and something that might scare the hell out of you or me might be nothing to somebody else. So it's all relative.
Sure. Yeah, it is all relative. See, like for me, I have this weird like irrational fear of like hydroplaning after it rains, just because I've done it before, and it's like I get really weirded out by that fact.
Well, that, and it doesn't happen that often, and when it does, you're like, oh, what's going on right now?
Oh, for sure. Yeah. So, yeah, but the spider thing, I could definitely relate with, especially, in Indiana here, we only have 2 venomous spiders.
Okay.
And everything else is just, whatever. But, like, everybody thinks that, it's like just because it's a brown spider, that it's a brown recluse. And it's not.
Yeah. That and, like, I mean, brown recluses, like, and black widows, like, I mean, yeah, they're venomous, but if you're not allergic to them, then it's not a big deal. You know what?
You are absolutely right. And if this was a game show, you would totally win right now, because most people don't get that. It's you have to be allergic to the venom.
Yeah.
Most of us are.
Until like a few months ago.
Yeah. See, most people are allergic to it, but it's still varying degrees.
Okay, but the concept behind brown recluses is that the bite, your skin's going to start deteriorating, and it's going to, travel up your bloodstream and, start to, your veins are going to turn black.
Right. Yeah. But that's a big misconception for sure. Hey everybody, let me tell you about the new sponsor to the Metal Forge, Unchained Tapes. They're an independent Pennsylvania tape label. They focus on extreme metal and punk with a killer approach to the tape scene. Visit their web store at unchainedtapes.bigcartel.com now to get your fill of tapes. And for being a Metal Forge listener, enter the code METALFORGE10 at checkout to get a 10% discount on your total purchase. That's unchainedtapes.bigcartel.com.
Welcome to the night. You think you know Night Demon? Then the Night Demon Heavy Metal Podcast is for you. Step into the darkness as we peel back the curtain to give you an unprecedented, all-access look into the mind and the heart of the demon. We're talking band history, song analysis, studio anecdotes, stories from the road. It's everything a diehard Night Demon fan could want and more. This is the only place to learn the inside scoop, the deep dive trivia, the untold tales from the band members themselves and those closest to the Night Demon story. Need more? The sacred Night Demon Crypt will be pried open to reveal demo recordings that have never before seen the light of day, all with in-depth commentary by the band and the people who were there for the writing and recording process. This is a gold mine, a treasure trove of all things Night Demon. Head over to nightdemon.net or wherever you listen to podcasts.
What is one thing you'd wish you spent more time doing when you were younger?
Probably practicing my instruments. I was definitely a jack of all trades, master of none when it came to instruments. Like, I can play something on everything, but I'm not amazing at anything.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, I'm the same way. Like, I primarily play bass, but I can do some guitar. I'm not a Randy Rhoads or Jake Ely or Zach Wilde. I don't know why I singled out on Ozzy's guitar players there, but I'm not a Kirk Hammett or Dave Mustaine or anything like that, where can play flashy blasting leads, but I can hold my own on a rhythm section. Same thing with some other instruments like banjo and stuff like that.
Oh, nice, man. I messed around with the banjo a bit as well.
It's very interesting, and for coming from like two metalheads on a metal show to say, hey, I screw around and playing banjo.
Oh man, Appalachian folk music's my jam.
It is totally awesome, and like when you get into the theory of banjo playing, it's like it will blow your ever loving mind.
Oh yeah,
I mean, for anybody that's listening out there, because like you have a couple of different ways to play it. And for me, what I noticed was when I picked up a certain style, I get, like seeing the mechanics of how like 2-finger worked or 3-finger worked. And then I could totally hear it on things. It's like you could hear Ralph Stanley playing 3-finger or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And that's totally cool to me.
Oh yeah, man. Like, I mean, Steve Martin, even, he's like,
oh yeah,
he's amazing at every style. Like, he's got such killer claw hammer, and
oh my gosh, yeah,
5-finger.
Yeah, that is absolutely insane. And there's a music video with him, and I know there's one where he was on like Saturday Night Live. It was like his return to Saturday Night Live after like so long, and he played with the band. And it was just absolutely insane, where he was just like, he was playing like claw hammer and then going in between styles while he was playing with them.
And he does it all.
Oh yeah, like totally badass. And it's like Steve Martin. You wouldn't expect him. It's like the people that you're like, what, really?
Yeah.
You don't expect
He's been doing
Steve
it forever now.
Oh yeah.
Well, I mean, obviously he has, because he's amazing, but those videos of him playing with Scruggs, really good. And then his original stuff that he's been releasing just the last few years have been like really top-notch bluegrass.
Oh, definitely. And he's always been musically inclined from like take again like the 70s, 70s and 80s when he was on Saturday Night Live, where he did all the musical skits and stuff. So yeah, totally cool. So I have one more question, but before we get into that, always, links are listed below, so please give a like, a share, and a follow. Please check these guys out. They kick ass. As well, you've already heard the one song. We're going to hear another one here in just a few minutes. Dude, Avery, do you have any shout-outs you want to give?
Yeah, man. I'm going to give a shout-out to my friend Sky, who does amazing tattoos. I'd mentioned getting that Castle Grayskull from her soon. I want to plan that out. Sly Gibson on Instagram. I want to shout out Steve Bogar in Denver's band, Seed of the Sorcerer. Really great Death Doom stuff from Denver, and he's the guy who's putting our demo on tape. So shout out Seed of the Sorcerer, Womb of the Witch.
Hell yeah. Final question of the day. What was the thing you asked for when you were a child that you were always told no?
I think it was probably a dirt bike.
Yes.
I think, which I have absolutely no interest in riding dirt bikes now, but I when I was a kid, I really wanted to do motocross.
Hell yeah. I mean, no, totally. Like, I could see that. It's almost like the Red Ryder BB gun thing about you'll shoot your eye out, or it's like, you'll crash the bike and you'll break your leg and all that shit.
Yeah, maybe. I don't think my parents had too big of a fear of any of that stuff, but
but that's also a big investment too.
Right.
Hell yeah. So yeah, a dirt bike. Definitely. I can get behind that 100%. Dude, Avery, thank you so much for coming into the Metal Forge this week. This has been an awesome conversation. I've enjoyed it. It's a great way to, end August here, going into the fall with the traditional heavy metal, skirting the fantasy power metal line here. Super cool.
Right on, man. Thank you for having me on here.
Absolutely. So what out of the demo are we going to play out today?
Let's do To Spires Deep and Caverns High, Riders of the Iron River.
Hell yeah. That's a lot. That's a lot to say here. So let's go ahead and try it here. To Spires Deep and Caverns High, Riders on the Iron River.
to deliver. Write yourself the eye. Never born and therefore never tires. Racing on, sent forth from the bones. My spirit come from sacred stones. I will send amongst the stars. Every yell's a done before the rise to spire steam and Kevin's highly right, untouched by the light. Deep the waterfalls, it mystifies us all. Riders neither gods nor men. You won't have been taken, oh now we're all walking. Send me forth to conquer, reinforce my armor. Send me forth to conquer, reinforce my armor.
Hey guys, Wrestling Steve of the Wrestling Steve Show here. So if you're currently listening to the Metal Forge with Mark Jackson, then you understand that Mark Jackson has a pretty discerning taste when it comes to music as a whole. You'll also understand that he has a discerning taste for professional wrestling, just like me. My show is called the Wrestling Steve Show. I talk about modern and classic pro wrestling in a completely unbiased, unfiltered way. Be sure to check me out on all available podcasting platforms. That is the Wrestling Steve Show. And I am the host, Wrestling Steve. Just remember, like Confucius said, man who goes through turnstile in Thailand is going to Bangkok. Pro wrestling.
Hey, it's Mark Maxwell at Maxwell's House of Music. Listen, all this stuff is now available to purchase on our website. Check it out at maxwellshouseofmusic.com.
We carry all the top brands, like Fender.
We got Gibson.
We also have basses.
We've got ukuleles.
We got drums.
We've got sound gear.
We've got keyboards.
It's Gonna Get Weird is the name of the podcast. We're on season 2, so you have a whole season to get weird with Frank Green and Scott Clark. The best part is there's always laughter.
Oh, yeah, you can pull that out.
We have national touring comedians, NFL stars, rock stars, your local friends. It always gets weird. Weird answers.
Have y'all ever snorted coke off of a 78 Pinto? No? You ain't no man.
Weird questions.
Who had a bigger cocaine habit, Jock Sutherland or Kaywood Ledford?
Neither one, because they stopped beating their wives.
And weird we never even thought of.
Well, no. My friend is on acid, and I sent my friend to go find a payphone so that I can call and turn myself in for murdering this guy and ruin my life.
We love all types of people, but we don't love all people.
Weird. It's Gonna Get Weird is the name of the podcast, available everywhere. And thank you to Big X Sports Radio for being a proud sponsor of It's Gonna Get Weird. Frank Green, Scott Clark. Yeah.
Hey, thank you all for tuning into this week's episode of The Metal Forge. I want to take a minute to remind you guys about the Patreon page. Over on the Patreon page, we have the tiers set up to support the production of the show. We feature the Down and Dirty, which is just $1. There's nothing special for that one, it just sends me a thank you because every dollar helps. Then there's the Double Down and Dirty. Much akin to the Down and Dirty tier, everything helps produce the show in the end. You make your presence known, and I appreciate that more than you realize. Thank you for being a dedicated friend and supporter of the Metal Forge. By selecting that tier, you will receive some cool Metal Forge stickers in your mailbox. Now, we're really going to start pounding the metal madness with the Apprentice Metalhead for just $5 a month. By becoming an Apprentice Metalhead, you'll be given early access to the shows, published 24 hours before everyone else gets it. You're also going to receive 3 entries in any contest that we do here at the Metal Forge. You're also going to receive a 10% discount on all Metal Forge merch, and you're going to receive a sweet Metal Forge patch for your battle jacket or backpack. And now, here is the big one. This is the Master Metalhead for just $10 a month. By becoming a Master Metalhead, you will receive a hand-numbered Metal Forge Master Metalhead membership card. You're going to be given early access to the shows as well, with 36 hours before everyone else. You're going to receive 5 entries in any contest that we do here at the Metal Forge. you'll be able to submit audio questions that I will use on the show of you asking questions to the upcoming guests. Remember, timing is everything, and you will need to keep up with the upcoming guest list on the website. You're also going to receive advanced knowledge of any new merch coming out and be given a 25% discount on all Metal Forge merch. And you're also going to get all of the other rewards from the other tiers. So visit patreon.com/Metal Forge Radio today and help support the Metal Forge. Rock on.